Hey guys, it's H2O Mario, or in this case, H2O Luigi, as this game was played on my second account, and we are going to, oh wow, the season ends soon, I wasn't aware of that. So we are going to take a look at this game, and we are going to see exactly my Terranigan Zerg opener. I'm going to give you the first intro to how to play Terranigan Zerg. I like this opener a lot. It's a very good opener. It's made me very safe. I've used it against very high-rated Grandmasters, and I'm its biggest fan, I would imagine. So this opener, unlike any other opener that most pro players use, is highly defensive. You see, most openers that professional players use is actually based off of, early map control. And this is so that they can keep the the Zerg, in check, and they can try to harass, pressure, keep creep off the map, and scout out, force him to play honest. In this specific strategy, we do something different. You see, the metagame right now is for Zergs to do a lot of over-aggressiveness. They like to do Zergling runs or Baneling busts off of 2 base, or Roach Baneling, or Roach Ling, even, or Fast Mutalisks off 2 base. So a lot of Zergs are being very aggressive on the map. And I've decided that I was going to tweak my build order to play against the majority of the Zergs. So this build order is very safe. Why is it safe? Well, it relies on Marines and Siege Tanks to pretty much secure almost anything you want. You're not really designed to push across the map unless you're planning on losing your Marines. To try to kill a few workers, but that's not something you have to worry about the lower league you're in. The higher up, it's something you can do. So in this build order, what we do is we go for a 10 supply depot, 12 barracks, and the 15th SCV, the very last one we make, makes the gas. And there is the orbital command. Another supply depot, and we wall off. So why do we get such a late gas? And why do we get a gas? Well, we get a gas because we want to be able to get siege tanks at a reasonable time. We get it very late because we don't need it earlier than when we make it now, because we want to drop the expansion at a reasonable time. This is the latest you can drop it, and have the siege tank arrive just in time. It's actually quite funny. You will notice that we need the siege tank anywhere in between, I would say, 7 minutes and 30 seconds to 8 minutes, depending on source. So we'll see when the siege tank pops out. After 2 Marines, we make a reactor, a command center, and we scout. Why do we scout? Well, we want to make sure there's a hatchery here. If there isn't, we're going to run back up into our base, and maybe even cancel this command center. So there's a hatchery. We're pretty sure we know what's going on. We're just going to go see how many gas geysers do you have. This could help us tip off if there's any cheese. Now when we come over, we do see that he was mining gas. We didn't actually check to see how much was mined. We're not that concerned with it. At about 22 supply, we are going to get a supply depot on the bottom ramp. And we're going to get a factory. 2 barracks. And still produce SCVs. As you can see, our opponent is making a roach warren. After the supply depot, we do want a bunker. You see, even though we know that he doesn't have anything on the field right now, what he could have on the field at 6 minutes is a lot of Zerglings with speed. So we want this bunker started just slightly before, just in case. We're going up to quite a bit of Marines, by the way. We do scout some Zerglings, and we're trying to see if he has a 3rd base, but you don't have to be really concerned about that. You see, what we're doing is just focusing on the opener. The moment the bunker is complete, we make a 2nd supply depot, meaning that there's only one way you can surround the bunker, in this direction. If you don't get the size over here, you can't get a complete surround, and the bunker lives longer. You're going to make a lot of Marines, and by the way, this is off of 1 gas. You're going to make a lot of Marines and then, you know, we're gonna build a third supply depot. We don't need to really wall off right away. We can. It would definitely help survive more all-ins, but we were playing greedy this game. I suggest that once you finish this depot, you do make another one. Now we're making siege tanks and barracks at the same time. We're not really getting another gas geyser because we don't quite need another gas geyser. We got the gas early enough to be able to produce the siege tanks at a decent fashion. Now we're gonna get the command center, the third one. And from here, normally, once we've started our second siege tank, we want to drop 3 gas geysers. So this is the opener we're going into. You can see the siege tank comes out before 7 minutes and 30 seconds. Slightly before this attack comes in. Now, this is a lot of units, but why does it fail? Well, if you look at it, even if it was Zergling Baneling, you know, if we walled off in time, he couldn't come up the ramp, and the game would be flat out, you know, he'd be severely behind. In this case, we were playing greedy, we didn't wall it off, so we ended up losing a tank. Not much else. The reason why is because we actually have a lot of Marines on the field. So many Marines that we made out of that one reactor, combined with the siege tank and a bunker, that we don't actually... It's very hard for us to take damage from any sort of attack. Now, always, if you see any kind of attack coming in, your goal is to send your SCVs in from the natural this early on. The only reason, the only time you don't want to do it is if there's a lot of banelings, and so you want to pull a few SCVs, like 5 or 6, still about this amount though, and try to repair the bunker. So he does end up sniping the tank. There he goes. We tried to repair it. And we lift up the supply depots at the top. But there's really not much you can do because, once again, we have a lot of Marines. We empty this out. And we've survived this attack. Not only have we survived it, but if you look at the income, we're only 4 behind. He's killed 1 worker. 3 behind. 2 behind, because he's making buildings. He's making a lot of workers, but we're on our 3rd command center. And we're going to speed it up just a little bit. So wall off, you can see here come the gas geysers. This one needs to come in a moment. It's a little bit delayed. Not really something I want to be delayed. There it goes. And now we're going to try to take our 3rd base. Even if you weren't on this map, you know, if you were on a map that was hard to take a 3rd base, you could make 2 or 3 bunkers because you would have the amount of Marines required to put in the bunkers that kind of are spread out. You know, let's say that this is your, or let's say, what's a good example? Let's say this is your main and this is your natural, and your goal is to, you know, there's this huge open space. How do we defend it? Let's say, you know, this ramp isn't here. Well, we could put a bunker here, here, and here, or let's say, you know, it's completely open. We put 1 bunker here, 1 bunker here, and 1 bunker here, kind of closing off this section so they can't just run up, and then putting siege tanks behind, split up. So as long as you space apart the bunkers and the siege tanks, you'll be more than good. You do want them close enough to that where the siege tanks can cover the bunkers. The bunkers don't have to be within range of each other, but they do have to be in range of the siege tanks. Preferably 2 bunkers have to be able to reach a siege tank, and a siege tank has to be able to cover 2 bunkers. Now, what do we do from here? If you do defend an all-in, you can drop another command center. Not something you really need to worry about, but you can do it. You get all your gas geysers, you put 2 in each, as fast as you can. You drop 2 factories, an armory, and a starport. And you can produce siege tanks and hellbats and so on. Yes, you do see another command center. So, this is kind of the opener. This is all we're going to cover for now in this build. This is one of the safest openers I know. It's my new favorite opener against Zerg. I use it almost every single game. I hope you guys enjoy, and I hope it helps you survive the cheeses. Just remember, as a small tip, until the next video, your ultimate goal is to get on 3 bases with 5 factories, at least 1 upgrade at a time, preferably plus attack, and a starport, and do some hellbat drops. You know, make like 1 Thor for every 2 or 3 siege tanks. And yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and have a good day.